Imagine you're an ordinary student from Texas. You love physics, read novels, and believe in freedom. And one day, you create a darknet website. 2 years later, goods worth $1.2 billion are being sold on it. The FBI can't find you for 3 years. Then they catch you because of one stupid Reddit post. You get double life imprisonment, but still walk free after 11 years in prison. This is not fiction. This is the story of the man they called the Dread Pirate Roberts, the one who built the world's first drug empire on the darknet. Ross William Ulbricht was born in 1984 in Austin, Texas. He was an excellent student, an athlete, and the pride of his family. He earned a bachelor's degree in physics from the University of Texas, then entered graduate school in materials science at Penn State. By every measure, he was the perfect American guy, but in his mind, an idea was growing, one he believed was a revolution. Ross became fascinated with libertarian philosophy, the idea that the government has no right to control what a person does with their own body. He studied Austrian economics and admired Ludwig von Mises and Ron Paul, and gradually he came to the conclusion, drug policy is violence. People should have the right to choose for themselves. In 2010, at the age of 26, he dropped out of graduate school and began turning his idea into code. In January 2011, a new website appeared on the internet, Silk Road. You could only access it through Tor, a browser that hides a user's identity by bouncing through servers around the world. Payments on the site could only be made with Bitcoin, at the time still a little-known cryptocurrency. The concept was brilliantly simple. It was a regular marketplace, like Amazon or eBay. Sellers, buyers, reviews, ratings. Only the product was drugs. Everything was delivered by mail, straight to your home. Ross, hiding under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, a reference to the film The Princess Bride, positioned the site as an act of freedom. Not just a marketplace, but a philosophical manifesto against the war on drugs. At first, it was a quiet corner of the internet, but by 2012, Silk Road already had 10,000 product listings, hundreds of thousands of users, and monthly turnover measured in tens of millions of dollars. Ulbricht took a commission from every deal. At its peak, about 8% from each transaction. In June 2011, Senator Chuck Schumer saw an article about Silk Road in Gawker and publicly demanded that the FBI shut the site down. That was a mistake, because the article came out before most people even knew the site existed. Now, everyone knew about it. The FBI launched an operation, but they ran into a problem. Tor hid the location of the servers. Bitcoin obscured the money flows. Sellers and buyers knew each other only by pseudonyms. 2 years passed, and the FBI hadn't moved forward even one step. Ross worked from cafes and libraries in San Francisco, moving from place to place. He lived modestly, paid in cash, kept his digital footprint to a minimum. But he had an Achilles heel, his own carelessness in the beginning. Investigators dug up an old forum post where someone under the name Altoid had advertised Silk Road back in 2011. A few posts earlier, that same Altoid had left his real email, rossulbricht@gmail.com. It also turned out that Ross had once ordered fake documents through Silk Road under his real name, and the package had been intercepted at the border. The thread began to unravel. October 1st, 2013, the public library in Glen Park, San Francisco. Ross Ulbricht is sitting at his laptop. He is working under a pseudonym, writing in the Silk Road chat as Dread Pirate Roberts. 2 FBI agents stage an argument next to him to distract him. At that moment, a third agent snatches the laptop from Ross's hands. The screen didn't have time to lock. Ross was logged into the Silk Road admin system. Game over. At the time of his arrest, Silk Road had existed for 2 years and 7 months. Goods worth $1.2 billion had passed through the site. Ulbricht personally made around $80 million in Bitcoin. The FBI seized what was then the largest cryptocurrency wallet in history. The trial began in January 2015. The prosecution painted Ulbricht as a monster. The charges included drug trafficking, money laundering, and, most shocking of all, murder for hire. Ross had allegedly hired people to kill those who threatened to reveal his identity. These murder allegations were never proven in court. The murder for hire cases were officially closed without a conviction, but they destroyed his reputation in the eyes of the jury. On February 5th, 2015, he was found guilty on all counts. On May 29, 2015, Judge Catherine Forrest announced the sentence: 2 life terms plus 40 years, with no possibility of parole. He was 31 years old. His mother cried in the courtroom. Ross himself apologized and said he was no longer a danger to society. The appeals failed. Ulbricht ended up in a maximum security federal prison forever. Or did he? The story took an unexpected turn. For years, libertarians and the crypto community campaigned for Ulbricht's release under the hashtag #FreeRoss. His mother, Lynn Ulbricht, traveled the world, speaking at conferences and meeting with politicians. Petitions gathered hundreds of thousands of signatures. During the 2024 presidential campaign, Donald Trump publicly promised to free Ross Ulbricht on the first day of his presidency, and he kept his word. On January 21, 2025, the day after his inauguration, Trump signed a full presidential pardon for Ross Ulbricht. After more than 11 years in prison, Ross walked free. The reaction was polarized. The crypto community celebrated. Families of those who died from overdoses after buying drugs on Silk Road were furious. Legal experts argued over the precedent, but the fact remained: a man sentenced to 2 life terms walked out of prison at the age of 40. So who was Ross Ulbricht? An idealist who went too far? A criminal who built a drug empire? Or a victim of a system that made an example out of him? There is no single answer to that question. Ross Ulbricht walked free. What happens next? We will find out.